Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Anah. I'm back with another video. It's titled Turkey and Russia Having Good Relationship is Prophecy, basically. So in today's lesson, I'm just going to this article. It was put up July 6th, 2024, 1:52 p.m. And it's going into what I just said, Russia and Turkey talking, meeting with the doomsday clock being 90 seconds to midnight, meaning 90 seconds to total nuclear destruction. And this is a NATO member, which is Turkey, um, going to who the world might call the enemy. Basically, United States of America been Babylon the Great, the leaders of the world, basically everyone wants to be like her. Scripture says she's a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? So they're saying that Russia is the enemy, but here we have this NATO member trying to keep close ties to this, so-called enemy, and that's relating to prophecy, right? You can't escape prophecy. No one can get away. Thus saith the Lord. Everything that is written will come to pass. His word doesn't come back void. There's nothing that can be done. That's why the scriptures say Esau Edom, is wearied in the multitude of his counsels, trying to offset prophecy in any type of way that he can, but it just can't be done. Everything is written, you know, and is set basically. And that's why you have your NATO member talking with your enemy. And it will continue happening until he launched nuclear missiles at Babylon the Great and the land of Israel up until that day. And then Yahweh Shai is going to return, pursuant to Matthew 24, verse 30, and redeem his elect and get us up out of here, right? And we're gonna come down and bind their kings with irons and fetters of chains, and you nations is going into captivity, into slavery, just because of everything that you did to the people of Israel, to us. Even to this day, you got Wisdom of Solomon 5 and verse 2. We're standing bold in the presence of our enemies. And you get our enemies going into Psalms 83, which is every people on the earth that's not the Israelites. So that's thus saith the Lord. This will come to pass. It will happen. There is no escape. There's nothing you can do. So with that, let's get into it. It says why this NATO member wants to stay friends with Russia. It's a long read. I pretty much read all of it. I'm not going to read all of it. Why this NATO member wants to stay friends with Russia. Diplomatic and economic pragmatism, as well as mutually beneficial relations, are what keep Moscow and Ankara talking despite their differences. And this would be like the capital, I guess, and this would be the capital. You can look it up. A lot of these breakdowns and things come with research and looking things up. But our elder apostles did that, and we have these things. And even we go into it right after them to make sure everything that they're doing is correct. And up until this day, it has been correct, right? So here we are. But for those of you, the sheep that are coming in and are listening, you should do the same thing so you get that oil in your lamp, right? And you're able to teach and go teach others that are worthy. So here we are, Russia and Turkey. And their inward thought is that their place will continue forever. That's the biggest thing. That's why they say things like, "Oh well, we're continuing this because we need to continue the ties," and that because we're going to continue forever. So that's the Most High. Calling these people to think certain things and do different things. Let's see what I want to read. I'll read a little bit of this. It says on July 3rd, ahead of the SCO summit, a meeting took place in Astana between Russia President Vladimir Putin and Turkish President Recep Erdogan. The presidents of Russia and Turkey met for the first time since September 2023. At that time, Erdogan had come to Sochi for talks, and since then, experts in the media had been anticipating a pro-co visit from the Russian leader at Erdogan's invitation. However, Putin did not go to Turkey, leading to intense public discussion about a crisis in Russian-Turkish relations. There was talk of Turkish authorities' inaction in revolving payment issues, Erdogan's desire to strengthen cooperation with Washington, Brussels, and London following the pro-Western Republican People's Party victory in the municipal elections in March of this year, and much more. So a lot is happening in the world, and there's a lot of hindering and things like that. But you cannot hinder Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, right? Everything that is written will come to pass. It's a good one. It says, however, as demonstrated by the leaders meeting in Astana, Moscow, and Ankara are neither turning away nor towards each other. The best reflection of the relationship between the countries is a comment made by Russian Presidential Press Secretary Peskov when asked by journalists if all problems with Turkey that concern Russia have been resolved. He replied, no, not all are resolved. All issues are resolved where no work is being done. And we can see, pretty much with every comment coming from Russian President Vladimir Putin and his executives and, different press and things like that. It's a stern, statement basically of just tiredness of the bullshit, to be honest. They're being blunt and blank and to the point in a lot of cases about what's going on. As we're going to get into, Yahweh Bashmi Shah is going to, put it in them to do his will. It says, no, not all are resolved. All issues are resolved where no work is being done, where extensive work is being done, where a very wide range of bilateral relations is implemented. Different problems inevitably arise, but there is political will to resolve them. See, like I said, there's a lot going on in the world, but, these things are happening. Peskov said nothing that a normal diplomatic process is ongoing. Noting that a normal diplomatic process is ongoing, meaning they're keeping ties. It says the meeting between the presidents took place in a warm atmosphere. I am very glad to see you, Mr. President. We are in regular contact, exchanging views on the situation between our countries and the region and the world as a whole on a regular basis, but indeed we haven't seen each other for a long time. I am very glad about our personal meeting, Putin said, right? And it's crazy, that 90 seconds to midnight, as the world talks of World War III. I mean, it's not crazy. It's exactly what it is supposed to be, right? And this is good news for us, for the hopeful elect, because we can see that prophecy is coming to pass, and things are in line, things are in place, as the scripture said. We can see Turkey and Russia meeting, talking, happy, as war is going on, as Putin is saying, United States and America are frenemies, right? A whole lot is happening. A big part of that is the trade that they got going on. So they think they're gonna continue forever. So they're talking about, well, we're at 55 billion, and we're trying to reach 100 billion in trade. Let's continue on. Because another thing also, and that's why we're gonna get into it. Revelation 17, the NATO nations shall hate the whore because of the things that they're doing, which is Babylon the Great. The different sanctions that they're implementing and things that they're trying to do according to their plan, whatever it may be. We know the end goal of their plan is to, offset prophecy. New World Order, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, eat the bugs, right? All of that. So they're talking about resolving the Ukraine crisis, which is wars and rumors of wars. It's not the biggest war. The biggest war will be Israel dragging United States to World War III, regarding Iran and those other different nations, which we'll get into. But it seems that the Ukraine has kind of picked it up, But anyway, and if you look, back and you look at, okay, Turkey Russian relations, and you go through the history, it's been like it has been going through many difficult times, but they have always, the Most High has allowed it not to deteriorate, basically, to perform His purpose, which is prophecy. So once again, like I was saying, the different sanctions that Babylon the Great is putting on Russia and different places, Europe and these NATO nations are hating the horde because it's not doing them any justice. It's not helping them in any type of way. It's not benefiting them. If anything, it's causing more problems than it's helping. It says despite tensions with NATO, Russia maintains diplomatic and economic relationships with various countries. And he said in one of his things off, I usually go on to TikTok, something called Putin Says. They might delete that eventually. I don't know. But anyway, Putin said that he's keeping close ties with even a lot of America's allies. So, and that goes into prophecy also, which I did a video on that when he said that. We're letting the sheep know that things are happening. These things are happening. We can see it. So that's pretty much this article. You go ahead and check it out. It's on RT News. I mean, the picture, all you need to see is that picture and know who these people are to understand what's happening. So this is the president of Russia, president of Turkey. This is a NATO, and this is an enemy of the United States of America currently. Frenemies, as he would say. But don't worry, the Most High got something for that. So, this is the doomsday clock. It says a moment of historic danger. It is still 90 seconds to midnight. 2024 doomsday clock statement. It says a moment of historic danger. It is still 90 seconds to midnight. So while it's still 90 seconds to midnight and we're seeing the problems which are going to kind of mention here, Russia and Turkey are meeting up. Ominous trends continue to point the world towards global catastrophe. The war in Ukraine and the widespread growing reliance on nuclear weapons increase the risk of nuclear escalations. China, Russia, and the United States are all spending huge sums to expand or modernize their nuclear arsenal, adding to ever-present danger of nuclear war through mistake or miscalculation. In 2023, Earth experienced its hottest year on record, and massive floods, wildfires, and other climate-related disasters affected millions of people around the world. Meanwhile, rapid and worrisome developments in the life science and other disruptive technologies accelerated, while governments made only feeble efforts to control them. One of that being, I would say, the MOTB, the Neuralink, things like that. We the hopeful leg would say. So that's pretty much it. The Most High is visiting this place with famines, pestilence, different things, wars and rumors of wars, all of these things that we're seeing, upwards of the people. So it's great, wonderful news. As Elder Apostle Ramla would say, beautiful. So Psalms 49:11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever and their dwelling place to all generations. They call the lands after their own names. It says, I'll start at 1. To the chief musician, a psalms of the sons of Korah. Hear this, all ye people, give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. Both low and high, rich and poor together, my mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable, I will open my dark singing upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when iniquity of my hills shall compass me about? That's why the scriptures say, famine and destruction, the elect shall laugh. They must trust in their wealth. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Yahweh a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceases forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption, right? So they can't save themselves out of this prophecy that's coming to pass. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish and leave their wealth to others. It says their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever and their dwelling place to all generations. They call the lands after their own name. So this is basically going into the wealthy, with the pride of their heart, leaning on their riches and things like that, and their knowledge. They're buying bunkers and things for what's coming. But once again, their inward thought is that they will continue forever, right? And that's why they're moving out. They're moving, talking about, establishing, trades and things like that, because even if there's a war or a nuclear or whatever the case may be, they think after all of that, they'll build themselves back up. But, you know, unbeknownst to them, I think that's, let me get that. It says occurring or existing without the knowledge of. So unbeknownst to them, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, like I said, is going to return and redeem his people and take the kingdom, right? And establish our kingdom. And we will take them, and put them into slavery. So, now, we're going to get into Ezekiel 37, 38. We're going to get into Ezekiel 38. And what you need to know is that Esau Edom has a blessing, and that blessing is to the fatness of the earth, right? To control all things. Esau Edom being the so-called Edomites, the so-called white people, and that consists of Russia, Turkey, America, the European nations and things like that. So let's get some of that for your, understanding. This is Genesis 27 and 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father blessed me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that's pretty much it. Esau's blessing is the fatness of the earth, and he will control it by a sword. And he will also break the yoke from off our neck, regarding, slavery and different things. And that's why we are still in slavery now, but we are more free than we were before. And Esau Edom has the dominion. This is Job 24. Another thing that you have to understand, because a big thing is that they want to say that Japhet is Esau, when Esau is Esau, basically. So anyway, this is Job 24 and 1. It says, Why, seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty, do they that know him not see his days? Some remove the landmarks, they violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fallenness, they take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way, the poor of the earth hide themselves together. Right, and it's going into removing the landmarks, right? Removing people from their borders. How do they do that? With the sword that they're blessed with, taking lands, and putting their own self there. That's what it's talking about. Job 24 and 2. Here we go, Habakkuk 2 and 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay. For the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, right? And the hopeful elect know this. The true men of the Lord know this, right? It says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right, and that goes again into his blessing, and how he's going through with his sword, gathering up all people, putting his landmarks and his embassies and different things in different people's lands, and then also taking them completely and trying to force them out. You have a situation right now with Israel and Gaza, with the Palestinians and things like that, where they're forcing them out of that land. So the scriptures are faithful and they are true. Ezekiel 38 and verse 1. This is the prophecy. This is going to the fact that Russia will be joined with the many people around them, and Turkey included. This is Ezekiel 38 and 1. It says, The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right, so the land of Gog and Gog is basically Russia. And if you get this chief prince in Russia, I don't know if it's here. Let me see. Roshia. It's like the head, chief. Let me see. The chief prince, captain, leader. So basically, this is talking about Russia, right? Russia is that chief prince. He is the leader. He's going to spearhead the other nations around him. It says Ezekiel 38:2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus saith the Lord God, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Right, so all of them handling swords, and that's, basically their military power, their military might, whatever they have, tanks, ships, submarines. Goes into it. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Once again, shield and helmet, their military power. So if you go into Persia, this will be Iran. Of course, I did videos on that. Iran and Russia have strong ties. And you got Persia, which is Iran, and then Ethiopia and Libya with them, which is the Kushites, the Africans, of course. And these are things you can look up. It says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee, right? So if you go into Gomer is Turkey, and all his bands will be the different, Turkey states. You got Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, right? And these things that you can look up. It says, Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia will be that chief prince, will be that guard unto all of these people leading, the war against Babylon the Great and Israel, which ultimately will be the World War III. It says, and after many days thou shalt be visited, right? And once right here, it says, and I will put thee, Ezekiel 38:4. It says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, meaning Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is going to force Russia to do his will, right? To put hooks into his jaws like you would do like a horse or animal that you're trying to lead, to the way that you want them to go. It says, and I being Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen. So the Most High is setting up who Russia is allied with, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Once again, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So basically, this is talking about the time where pretty much, first of all, this is talking about America and Israel. But it's talking about a time, where they're pretty much safely and dwelling without care, which we'll get into. And once again, I got this Proverbs 21:1. It says, The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of the water. He turneth it whithersoever he will, right? And that's, you going back here, going back to 4, it says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses, horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Right? So the Most High is controlling this. So Jeremiah 49:31. It says, Arise, get ye up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, that saith the Lord, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. Right? So basically, it's just talking about America dwelling without care. if you go back here, in Israel, of course, mainly Israel, but we understand that Russia will lead the attack on America and Israel. Right here it says, Ezekiel 38:8, after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. And right now you have, Israel being a tourist spot. You even have the Israelites went back to the land of Israel. For the most part, they are dwelling safely. Even though they are at war, the people in the land are dwelling safely. Jeremiah 49:31, it says, Arise, get ye up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith the Lord, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. And the reason why they dwell alone, because according to prophecy, they will be destroyed by their own allies, which we just got into. And I'm going to get into it further. It says, And their camels shall be booty, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil, and I will scatter into all winds them that are in the utmost corners, and I will bring their calamity from all sides thereof, saith the Lord. Right? And once again, that's going into the different NATO nations firing upon Babylon the Great. This is Ezekiel 27:10. It says, They of Persia and of Lud and Put were in thine army, thy men of war, they hang the shield and helmet in thee, they set forth thy comeliness. Right, so once again, this Persia is Iran. You have Lud and Put, which is those Cushite nations, Africa, the Africans. It says, They of Persia and of the Lud and of Put were in thine army, thy men of war, they hang the shield and helmet in thee, they set forth thy comeliness. So this is basically going into how the fact that these people are going to come with helmet and shield, their military might towards Babylon the Great also. Right, so this is a precept going to Ezekiel 38. Once again, Persia and of Lud and of Put. So you have the Irans, you have the Cushites, Libya. Put is Libya. Right here. Okay. So now going to the fact that we see that these NATO nations will, go against Babylon the Great, their allies. It says Revelation 17:12, And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right, the beast being, Babylon the Great. And that's why they're NATO nations. They're vassal states unto America. It says, These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and Kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Right, the elect, the hopeful elect. And he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest were. So when Yahushua comes back, he's gonna go to war with these people over there in the Levant region, right, where everything is happening right now. Israel, Iran, over there in that area, the Arabian deserts. That's the Levant region. And that's where Yahushua is going to come and make war with these people. That's why it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Thus saith the Lord. It is written, right? There is no way of getting out of this. For he is Lord of lords and Kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right? So the whore is Babylon the Great. The beast is this man's system. They're basically one and the same. It says, And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And I'm sorry, the actual beast is the Roman Empire, because Babylon the Great came up out of the Roman Empire. So once again, they're one and the same. Modern day America looks just like Rome and everything like that. It says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." Let's read that again. It says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." So that's that nuclear destruction that these NATO nations that America, Babylon the Great right now is allied with, and they're gonna hate America because of the reasons that I listed, just the different sanctions and different things, but ultimately because of prophecy. Whatever the Most High might make them hate them, because we're just saying, hey, look at this, America is doing this. We can see that these NATO nations don't like that, so these are reasons that they could be hating her. But ultimately, it's the prophecy that's written. The Most High doing His will on the planet Earth to cause this to happen. "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which is Babylon the Great, which reigneth over the kings of the earth." Right? So we can see that once again, America is like the top person. America is leading everything. All these other nations want to be like America. And that's why we have Jeremiah 50:23. It says, we'll start at 22. It says, "A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" So that's pretty much it. Babylon is the hammer of the whole earth. Right? So that's pretty much prophecy, going into it and everything. Hope you was edified from this. Once again, there you go. So with that, I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.